Nizam Urzi Samarkandi, Sikandar Nama of Nizami Kanjvi, Fatahul Buldan of Yaqut al-Hamavi, and Safarnama of Ibn Fadlan, besides providing a descriptive sketch of socio-cultural conditions of medieval Central Asia, refer to the quantum of relationship between India and Central Asia. Ziauddin Barni's Tarikh Feroz Shahi gives an account of the activities of the people of Central Asia with India during the 13th and the 14th centuries. In fact, Al-Biruni, one of the significant scholars from Central Asia, Khawarizm, who reached to India, wrote a celebrated work on Tahqiqul Malil and introduced his own type of an methodology with a type of an Islamic orientation. The Islamic orientation, in view of his own understanding of the subject, came to the forefront because of the fact that he says, Laisal Khabar Kal Ayan, mere report is not equal to the eyewitness. And the fact that he had acquired this knowledge is from specific verses of Holy Quran and the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number one, this is what has been reflected by Al-Biruni itself. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, Kafal al-Mari Kaziban, and Yuhaddis Bikulli Masim. Sufficient for a man to prove him a liar who narrates everything, whatever he would heard from rest of the people, without using his own interpretive, own evaluating type of an analysis of the things. So, Abul Fazl's Ayn Akbari contains several themes on which some important aspects of the history of Central Asia and India can be formulated. The celebrated scholars gives a long list of different things. I will not mention here, I will skip most of the information because of the paucity of time. But yes, of course, the route that I had already referred to, the Silk route, that has been used by most of the merchants. They have crisscrossed the route for the transactions and for the trade and the rest of the community. But one of the significant contributions that has been made via this route, I have myself seen at the mosque of Shaykh that has been established by Hazrat Amir Kabir Mir Sayyid Ali Hamadani. He came here with all taking all troubles and the difficulties for the expansion and the consolidation of Islam in the region. Not only that, but for the introduction of the specific arts and crafts that is presently available in the valley of Kashmir itself. And with almost, this is all I talk about the 14th century and almost 400 ulamas and disciples that he had with him. And this is all what he did. What all made this possible was, to my understanding, is that what prompted and persuaded Muslim scholars to go for such type of scientific type of an exploration is that there was a conviction behind it that since Islam is the religion of Allah, God-oriented religion, Quran the book of Allah, the universe is creation, as such, scientific investigations that were persuaded, that were followed, that were continued by Muslim scholars, was in fact a common term that had a religious beginning in itself. Al-Sakhawi, in his renowned work, Al-Alam Bit-Tawbiq Liman Zammat Tariq, this is a book that he has written. Here he said, whosoever had studied history and had maintained its relationship with the discipline itself, it was not for the type of an ideology and type of a methodology that otherwise to be used for distinguishing rough from chaff from the grain, to make a difference between chalk and cheese, to make a difference between pot and pan. Not only these, but just for the pleasure of Allah Himself. And this is type of an ideology, type of an understanding that has developed among the scholars itself. So, yes, sir. Look, before conclusion, you will excuse me, sir. I have worked very hard on it. Yes. So fundamentally, after leaving most of the paper, that will be available otherwise to you. But yes, one important thing I would like to see, to talk to you, sir, is that cultural interaction as a phenomenon has not emerged in vacuum, but has evolved out of a process. This is very important to note, sir. The integration of religion and its cultures took about a mutual course with the merging of civilizations and their evolving trade routes, which ultimately led to the colonization of Asia, Africa, and most parts of the world. Religion as such became an integral part of the cultural integration. In order to estimate and evaluate the role of Islam in a phenomenon called cultural interaction, its concept of migration has further enriched the scene when 2% of world population is passing through different stages of migration. What Quran speaks about, don't you find it spacious to immigrate, about the concept of migration itself. Not only the first migration from Arabia to Abyssinia, that was followed by another migration from Mecca to Medina. The fundamental process of diaspora itself is found taking place in the early centuries of the growth of Islamic civilization. Thousands of Sahaba, this are for your concerns, please. Thousands of Sahaba from Arabian Peninsula undertook mass movements that were finally organized and settled down in all parts of the then known world between 705 to 715. Within a short span of 10 years, 65,000 Arab families migrated to the territories of Central Asia for permanent settlement, and these communities have throughout been studied as diasporic communities in all these regions. Just want to speak lots and lot about the culture, type of culture, including pluralism and coexistence and so on.
Dr. Khaki, believe us, we understand that you have made many efforts. And what you said, that is very important. We appreciate it. And then also, I would like to get a commitment from the organizers that kindly please publish these papers later on, so that all the speakers are satisfied with it, that somebody would read them later.
Only 2 minutes, sir.
And please conclude.
You can just understand the type of hardships I have to face.
Please conclude.
Coming all along from Kashmir to this place without any monetary benefits. I did not directly come down to I have to live for till 2 p.m. I could not sleep because of the mosquitoes and all that. So lastly, so the Great Translation movement that was initiated at Baghdad as early as second half of 8th century was one of the pioneering steps towards the cultural synthesization and globalization of knowledge. The canons of learning from East and West were studied on a global level. The results of this movement the canons of learning from East and West were studied on a global level. The results of this movement that was started at Baitul Hikmah were realized in the academies of Spain, Alexandria, Africa, Nishapur, Samarkand, Bukhara and Sindh. The characteristic feature of cultural interaction may be thought of initially as the widening, deepening and spreading of worldwide interconnectedness in all aspects of social life. There are many more things I want to share with, but because of the paucity of time, I could not. There is a lot of paper, almost all paper with me. I could not do it.
Thank you very much.
I wish I could have shared my concluding part with you, but since I could not.
No, but we will be sharing it. We hope and we request that the organizers are going to publish all these very lovely proceedings and papers, and it will not be a waste. Now I would like to request Dr. Nikhat Jahan.